think we've had an injection.
Come on. Heads on. Head on the job. Know what you need to do.
Well, besides Coach Furlow, but I guess you didn't really have to take him. I wasn't with him.
Come on, boys. Come on.
I heard about that one. Dude, I saw the craziest thing. It was I announced an awesome football game yesterday between Franklin and Southampton. They prayed after the game together. Dude, they won't even let us shake hands at my high schools.
Who won the game?
Southampton. That was an amazing game, actually. Hey, thank you guys, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, dude. I'll text you if I need something. Hey, let me know how the ball.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, guys.
Welcome to campus of Chowan University in the Hawks Soccer Party here today. Your 2019 Conference Carolina's regular season champs host the 8th-seeded McRae in the Conference Carolina's quarterfinals contest. At this time, please direct your attention to McRae as they announce today's starting lineups. The first one is McRae, number 3, Ryan Hudbay. Number 4, Nicholas Priestley. Number 5, Luis Jimenez. Number 8, Andrew Stokes. Number 9, Luis Oxnard. Number 10, Augustin Ortiz. Number 13, Stefan Davis. Number 17, Harvey McRae. Number 21, Michaela Sutkenstein. Number 24, Connor Horn. And on goal for the Bearcats, number 27, Anton Sandstrom. The Bearcats are coached by Shane Calvert and assisted by Hunter Gray. And now the starting lineup for your Chowan University Hawks. Combat was Belgian man number 2, playing defender, Landon Walsh. And defender from Texford number 3, Tony Sanders. And midfield from Wrexham Wales, number 6, Harry Wright. From Harry number 7, playing midfield, Mitchell Lewis. And defender from Newcastle United, number 8, Jake Jensen. And forward from Blackpool United, number 10, Harrison Ogden. And number 11 from Barry Ireland, playing defender, Nathan Clifford. From Ireland, number 14, playing midfield, Riley Ben David. And midfield from Western Union, number 20, Sam Hall. From the Eagles, Florida, number 23, playing forward, Trevor Myers. And from Kilmarnock, Scotland, number 26, and on goal for the Hawks, Will Smith. The Hawks are coached by Chris Ryan in his 6th season and assisted by Rick Stantz. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please raise your navy caps for today's prayer and remain standing as we honor our nation with the playing of our national anthem. Let us pray. Father, we come before you today asking for good health, good sportsmanship, and with gratitude for this celebrating and special day. We give thanks for the opportunity of bringing these teams together safely, and may we pray in your honor. All things are possible through Christ. Amen. Ladies and gentlemen, public restrooms are located in the Defensive Athletic Center next to the dome. Those restrooms are located down the concrete steps to the left of the bleachers. We ask that you please use the exterior restroom and do not enter the building directly.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are at Hawks Field on the campus of Chowan University, where today we're going to be hosting the quarterfinals men's soccer Conference Carolinas playoffs. The Bobcats from McRae College headed to the pitch today where they'll mark up against the number 1 seeded Chowan Hawks in the quarterfinal matchups on day 1 of the tournament. I am Meredith Long, and I will be bringing you the play-by-play today, joined by Rob Burns, who is lending his voice today after spinning off football season for the 2nd year in a row with us. Rob, good to have you on.
Thankfully, we get another opportunity, especially to see the number 1 seeded Hawks here at Hawks Field.
Yeah, they had an excellent regular season. They started off a little slow, but they peaked when it counted, and they're playing their best soccer here the last quarter part of the season, and that's when it really counts. And they're going to be playing against a Lee's McRae team that finished up at 3-10-2 overall and 3-6-1 in the conference. These two teams met on October 12th. Chowan had actually scored 4 goals in the second half to get the win. They were trailing 1-0 at the end of the first regulation period, but came on strong in the second half and got second half goals by Sam Hall, Trevin Myers, Harrison Ardrone, and Danny Gallegos to take the win 4-2.
When it comes to the playoffs, you can pretty much throw all the records out the window. This is going to be a competitive soccer game.
It is. Our guys are ready. They've had a little bit of rest. Lee's McRae traveled down yesterday. They're about a 7-hour trip west in the mountains of North Carolina, over in Banner Elk. So Hawks are going to play the ball away. Nathan Clifford pitches the ball forward to midfield. It's going to be headed out of bounds by Hedberg from Lee's McRae. It's going to be a throw-in just in front of Lee's McRae's bench. Clifford's going to throw it in. Looking for the feet of Trevin Myers. Finds him. Kicked out of bounds again by Bobcat. Beautiful weather here today. High today, 50, but it's the sun shining. I bet by the end of the match it's going to be a little bit chilly.
Just enough to throw on a jacket up here for us. Everyone down there in shorts and short sleeves, of course.
Right. Pitched into the box by Mitchell Levi Lewis, headed out by the Bobcats. Levi Lewis trying to run the ball down to the far corner, sent up field. Looks like Jake Jensen just kicked the ball back. Ortiz, ball's away. Sam Hall kicks it to the corner to Mitchell Levi Lewis into the box. There's a Bobcats defender right there to kick the ball out.
Hawks in the white tops with the checkered board on the sleeves. Nice look for the Hawks. And the Bobcats in the green tops, white shorts.
Yes, this is a new jersey for the Hawks. Kind of like the checkerboard look.
Would expect a little bit more fan coverage today. With the weather starting to warm up, we'll start to see a lot more heads come out.
Yep. Ooh. And we have a score. Looks like Trevin Myers got off of the rebound to punch it in for a quick 1-0 lead here just inside of the second minute, 43-15. Good heads-up play by Myers to be paying attention off that rebound. I did not see who had the original shot. Did you see that?
I did, and I saw Trevor Myers end up kicking the goal. And impressive start here by the Hawks. Just a few minutes into the game, already leading.
That's Myers' 8th goal of the year. He's second on the team in scoring, first on the team in shots taken. His 54 season shots on goal put him second in the league, 55 after that shot. It's his 8th season goal. Correction, that is his 3rd season goal. He has 7 assists.
Here's Sims to throw it in.
Hawks are led offensively by Harrison Argel, the sophomore. Great freshman year, and he's followed that up with another solid season for the Hawks. It's a sophomore from Blackpool, England.
Lots of countries represented here on both squads.
Yep, we actually have on our roster 11 internationals. Looks like Jake Jensen tried to send that ball into the box, a little bit high. And then we have 12 stateside. I know Coach Waller has a philosophy of trying to make his team a good balance of both international and European players and stateside players. And he's got a pretty good balance.
This is one of the only sports where you really get to see that. You might have a few players from other countries on other teams, but soccer, just looking at the rosters, there's a lot of countries represented, as we mentioned, and a lot of different states as well in America.
Yes. And that might be another reason why, our crowd might be a little bit down here, is because so many of our fans are watching on the live stream because they are across the pond or they are in Alabama or Florida.
Of course. No pressure, though. No pressure. And anybody who is listening might have to excuse some of my lack of knowledge on soccer. As Miss Meredith said, football and basketball, and really excited to come out here and do a soccer game. Don't get to come out here much. Our schedules kind of conflict with baseball practice. A lot of fun to come out here and watch a really competitive Chowan Hawks soccer team.
Jimenez is going to get the ball teed up after the foul. Sam High heads it away, finds the feet of Trevin Myers. Trevin Myers sends it forward. Myers kicks it forward. A little bit over the mark for Yuri. Hawks still come away with it. Trev at the top of the box. Trevin Myers pitches it over, looking for Yuri Den Bigert. Hawks still have the ball. Jake Jensen to the corner, sends it across, a little bit off the mark. Actually, that was, I believe that was Robin Walsh. Robin Walsh in the corner.
And coach from the Hawks a little bit fired up. That's going to be Chris Waller in his 6th season with the Chowan Hawks. One thing I've already noticed, Meredith, is just the quickness of the Hawks.
Yeah, they are fast. They're fast all over the field, not just up front, but they're fast midfield. They're quick, and they've got a very solid back line led by all-conference performer Toby Sims.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Toby Sims is the captain of the team. I see the orange band out there.
He is.
He's a junior. Have a few classes with him. Great guy as well. Phenomenal soccer player.
Goal scorer leader for Lee's McRae has the ball down in the corner. Stephen Davis gets the ball back. I don't know how, but he gets it back. Looking for somebody to get open. Kicked away by Mitchell Levi Lewis. Sent down the field for Ardrone on the breakaway by Trevin Myers. Ardrone kicks the ball away. Little push there by Lee's McRae and Johan Hedberg, but no foul called.
And we kind of have a good earshot of the coach down here. Hawks are giving the ball away a little bit, overkicked the goal a few times, and just trying to clean that up just a little bit.
Yeah, Coach Raleigh, he has high expectations, and the boys generally play to those expectations.
I was about to say, as they should. The Hawks have been good ever since I've been here, at least, and
yes.
Obviously you've had a little bit more time here than I have. But
yeah, he's had a good career here. He's found a niche in recruiting and recruiting the Europeans, and with second-year assistant coach Luke Stats being from the Netherlands, he's able to get some Europeans in that region of Europe that we haven't had a look at before. So his recruiting connections in that part of Europe also helps us land a couple of recruits from that area.
It's really fun to see a game just bring so many different countries together here, and they all meet at Chowan University.
Oh, Rob, I firmly believe that sports can save the world. Sent into the box. Looks like Robin Walsh tried to pitch it into the box. Nothing going there. Trevin Myers was close, but Antoine Sundstrom, the goalkeeper from McRae, stepped forward, got the box, cut the ball off in the box before it got to Myers. Battle at midfield for the ball. Here, Lovett kicked the ball away there. Got it to Mitchell Levi Lewis. Back to Lovett. Over to Clifford. Clifford takes it a little bit closer to the corner. Pitches it off to Trevin Myers. Back to Clifford deep in the corner. Left foots it back. Looking for Trevin Myers, but can't get it there. Pitch forward by Louise McRae. Going to have a throw-in for the Hawks. Harry Lovett's going to throw it in right in front of the bench, actually. Clifford's going to come on and throw it in. Pitches it back to Toby Sims. He's got a heck of a leg here. Let's see what he does with it. He's going to use his keeper's feet. Ross Miller, the junior goalkeeper from Scotland. He's had an outstanding year.
Hawks have spent a lot of time with the ball so far early.
Yeah, they've had a lot of opportunities on goal. They finished once. Well, 36 minutes here to play. Fans, if you want to follow the live stats, log on to GoSeeHawks.com. Pitched across and headed into the corner.
Oh.
Sam Hall on the rebound, a little bit wide.
Sam Hall just off the mark on that, missed by a few inches.
Yeah, Mitchell Levi Lewis, he is like a precision assistus, if there's a word. But he is really good at getting the ball to do what he wants it to do. He sent it into the box. Trevor Meyer got a head on it, but it wasn't strong enough. Sam Hall on the rebound off the mark.
We were speaking about announcing, expanding my announcing kind of realms a little bit earlier. I heard that we're expanding a little bit into Chowan athletics. I know we've had a chess team for a little while. We've got an acrobats and tumbling team coming along, and then I saw something about the e-games.
Esports. Yes, we will be adding esports to our 20-team roster right now. We'll be adding that in the fall of 2020.
So is that do they have a conference?
Well, the Conference Carolinas, are several schools in Conference Carolinas that already have an esports team.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And so it's not an NCAA sport yet.
Okay.
But perhaps in the near future it will be, because it is growing. Since we put out that release, we've probably had 25 different perspective drilled into the box by Harrison Ardrone. Sundstrom comes out, grabs it.
Keeper for the Bobcats has been really busy so far.
He has been. Losing McRae in the middle of the field. Luis Jimenez takes it to the corner, right in front of the Hawks bench. Back and forth between Oaks and Bod. Hawks come away with the ball. Really back to Mitchell Levi Lewis. Back up to Yuri Bugert. Yuri takes it to the corner. He's looking to get it into the box. Does so. Headed back out by Hedberg. Robin Walsh keeps the ball in bounds. Heads it over to Jake Jensen. Lovett over to Clifford. Clifford looking for something. Finds Trevin Myers.
Trevin Myers has been all over the pitch early on.
He is quick and he has a ton of energy. He's going from, he generally plays 90 minutes and he's like he never runs out of energy. He's got two signature things. His socks and his hair.
Yeah, you got to point out the hair. I mean, the golden locks just flowing right now for Trevor.
Yeah. Well, one thing he's known for is his socks. He generally wears his socks up to the base of his uniform pants. Maybe he's going for a different look today. They're not as high as they normally are.
A little bit of anger from the Bobcats. I believe that was Nicholas Perslow. Hawks looking sharp early.
It's like Arjun and Mitchell Lewis are going to work their magic over after the foul. Into the box, looking. Oh!
And winning the net, they're going to give him the goal!
Yes, off the foul, the direct kick. That was Harrison Arjun.
Wow, what a tremendous break for the Hawks.
He's looking just the same in the box and overshot. 32:05. Hawks have a 2-0 lead after that. He's a good 35 yards out there.
Chowan with a tremendous start, lead the match 2-0.
Arjun,
Chowan's goal, and number 10, Harrison Arjun, that's the free point.
that's going to be his 13th goal, which is going to tie him for the top goal-getting players in the league this year.
A little bit of extra contact there by Ortiz from the Bobcats. Gave Harry Levitt a shove. And now getting a little talk to.
Right.
I don't know about you, Meredith, but I'm starting to get a little bit chilly up here. It might be a little bit easier for the players down there running around, obviously. But
Yes.
lucky the sun's out just a little bit.
Jimenez taking the ball upfield. They just cannot get it past the middle of the field. The Hawks, Nathan Clifford to Harry Levitt. Levitt to the middle of the field to Mitchell Levi Lewis. Lewis finding Travis Myers, looking to score again. Looking to left foot it, gets it out. It's going to be out of bounds on a Bobcat player. So we're going to have a corner kick. And this is where Mitchell Levi Lewis shines. He is phenomenal. He's got excellent control. He's going to set it up.
Liverpool sounds like the call from the Hawks.
Yeah. Into the box. Excellent ball into the box. Looking for Sam Hall.
Looks like the Bobcats are going to get the ball. And Coach Wiley really happy with that ball in on the corner.
Anytime you can get it in there and give your team a chance to have a look at the goal. But Sam Hall is a good guy to have in the box. He's a tall drink of water. I don't know the stats on the heights of men's soccer players we've had here in the past, but I know just from my observations he's got to be one of the tallest that we've had here. He's 6'3". He's fast, and he's steady. He's a unspoken talent for the Hawks. He's shored up that midfield quite a bit.
And he's a junior from England. Not even going to try to attempt to name that town.
Leicester. It's a transfer from Genesee Community College, and that's one of the top programs in the junior college circuit. So we're going to have another corner kick. Looks like Mitchell Levi Lewis is going to go over and set it up. Arjun is going to go over with Mitchell Levi Lewis to see what they got going. We've got, looks like we have Yuri, Sam, Trevin. Once again, looking for Sam in the middle of the box. Bobcats send it forward. There's nobody there. Looks like Jake Jensen is just going to let it go out of bounds. Picks the ball up. Going to let everybody get reset. Looks like Toby Sims is going to throw it in.
Haven't seen the Bobcats with the ball very much so far. But
they're having a hard time getting in and out. Hawks are playing great defense, controlling possessions, taking care of the balls when they need to. Yuri heads it over to Arjun. That's a good battle right there. Yuri left-footed it in there. Far post, took advantage of the corner. Arjun on the assist.
Yuri puts the Hawks up 3-0.
20-33 left to play in the first period here.
Looks like the attendance has picked up just a little bit. Might be getting a tad bit warmer. And seen a good match so far in the Hawks' perspective, not so much from the Bobcat side.
Bobcats are having a tough time getting something going. We've got a substitution coming on. Eduardo Olavide is coming onto the field. He is second on the team for scoring. He's got 3 goals on the year. Seven different Bobcats have scored, but they don't have anybody who scored more than 4 goals for them this year.
And we were talking a little bit earlier in the quarterfinals, it's win and done. Whoever loses is done for the season.
That's right. In the first matchup this year, on October 12th, the Hawks outshot Lee's McRae 26-7. Coach Raw is very familiar with Lee's McRae. He used to be the head coach there. Took them to the national championship game, Division II men's soccer. Lost a tough one, but he did get them there. We were talking recently about the resourcefulness that he had to use early in his career, and it benefited him to be resourceful, to work hard, to be scrappy.
Oh.
Ball to the middle of the field is going to be kicked away by Anders Stokes. Stokes going to get a shot off, which is the first shot of the match for Lee's McRae. It's taken him nearly 20 minutes to get one shot off.
How many do the Hawks have? Do you know? It has to be near around 10.
We're going to put the live stats up here in just a second, just like fans can do at home. It goes to Hawks.com. Go to the Game Day Central link and find the live stats button.
And Hawks soccer not the only matchup today. We have Chowan volleyball as well, and the football team is on the road at Lincoln, Pennsylvania, for the last game of the year.
Men's basketball team will be making their debut for 2019-2020 tonight at 6 o'clock at the Home Center as well.
Me and Gaddis Hodges will be on that game as well.
And offsides called on the Hawks. It's a good setup there. Middle of the field, looking for Arjun. Walsh sends the ball forward, across the field. Nothing going there, nobody there to help him out. Sam Hall comes to the middle of the field, gets the ball back. Pitch forward, could be a breakaway, but Toby Sims breaks that up. Connor Hahn looking for Ortiz in the corner, overshoots him.
Bobcats once again not able to hang on to the ball. 25-45 left here. The keeper's going to send it out to midfield. And here is the boot. And it's a long one. And headed out by a Bobcat. And Bobcats maintain possession. And Jimenez sends it forward. Ortiz comes across the field.
The Hawks have 6 shots. Lee's McRae just gets off another one. So that'll be 2 shots for the Bobcats.
2 out of 6, sounding pretty similar to some of my quiz grades in any kind of math class I've ever taken.
Rob.
Here's the boot by the keeper once again. And headed once again by the Bobcats.
Myers is the ball across field. Sam Hall send it over to Robin Walsh. Walsh still fighting with the ball. Levi Lewis to the corner for Walsh. Walsh sends it into the box looking for Ardron. Booted away by the Bobcats. Nathan Clifford steps to the ball, trying to keep the ball on this side of the field. Sam Hall to the middle. Mitchell Levi Lewis tries to chip it over. Bobcats defender, nothing going there. Looking for Ardron. Davis is on the far side of the field, sends it back to the middle. Nobody there. It's a misplay by Ortiz. Trevin Myers there to get the ball. Sends it forward to Ardron on a breakaway. Just a little bit too strong on that touch by Ardron. Sunstrom comes away with the ball for the Bobcats. Sends it out to middle of the field. Stokes sets the ball up. Jimenez right at midfield. Jimenez sent the ball over to Ortiz. Ortiz back to Jimenez. Toby Sims there to put the ball back.
Oh.
Going to be a misplay there by Hedberg, giving Ardron a chance to sneak in there and put pressure on the Bobcats defense.
Obviously, for a soccer newbie like me, it's just an intense amount of running that we've witnessed so far.
It's a lot more running in baseball, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. A stop sign's never fun, but I love the CU that we put up here. I know that's been here for a while, but that's my first good look at it here from the press box, on top of the press box here at Hawks Field.
Yeah, Coach Waller did that when he first got here. I've seen a lot of improvements in the last 15 to 16 years here in terms of facilities, and campus has grown quite a bit. Harry Levitt threw the ball into the box. It's a nice throw in. Bobcats there to break it up. Good takeaway by Robin Walsh. Walsh is a transfer came in from Brussels, Belgium. Clifford.
Oh, he's good.
There's a lot of contact, yeah. Nothing called.
Toby Smith showing, Toby Sims showing he's the captain, getting on his teammates a little bit.
Got a foul there right in front of the press box called on Mitchell Levi Lewis.
Levi Lewis, a redshirt junior from Hull, England. 5'7". Not quite as tall as Sam Hall, who you were talking about earlier. Possibly the tallest soccer player we've had in the program in a long time.
A very long time.
Again, a lot of contact.
There's more contact in men's soccer than people like to let on. If you don't know the sport very well, they do contact a lot. There's a lot of boxing out and different plays like that where there is contact. There's jersey grabbing. Sometimes you can get away with it and sometimes you can't. Just depends on the severity of it. Bobcats looking for something to get into the box for a service, but kicked out of bounds. Looks like Davis was expecting one of his teammates to move on that, and he was unable to keep up with that through ball.
looks like Jordan's going to be coming out of the game for Eric Rose.
Eric Rose is a junior midfielder. He's from nearby Washington, North Carolina. Washington, North Carolina is on the up and up with their soccer. They have some grassroots programs, a really great facility down there in Washington, North Carolina for the community to play and get skills.
See one player on both teams from Jacksonville, North Carolina. Not too far away either. And one went to Southwest High School, while the other one did go to Jacksonville High School. We played Jacksonville High School a few times. Pretty nice facilities. I've really only seen the baseball field, football field, but I know they have a strong soccer program.
So Carol Levitt's going to throw it in the other side of the field, throws it into the box, headed over top by Trevin Meyer. Toby Sims there to head it, but Sandstrom comes away with the ball. Sims hustling back to get on that back line. Jake Jensen playing the back line today. He has played midfield for the Hawks off and on for the last 2 years. Looks like he's going to be playing defender today. Clifford in front of the press box, midfield back to Sims. Sims sends it to the middle of the field, finds Ardron. Kicked away by Jimenez. Oviedo, top of the box, looking for Davis. Davis, service into the box by the Bobcats. Connor Hahn. Robin Walsh, far side of the field, is fouled.
17:30 left here as the Hawks lead 3-0. And here's the keeper to give the boot. And here is the boot. And looks like the Bobcats are going to get the ball. A little bit of confusion on the pitch. Anyways, the Bobcats going to lose the ball once again. Going to be a throw-in for the Hawks. And Sims and tosses it in. We got a pretty good view at that one. Not much there.
Ortiz is going to set it up after the foul. Referee calling to put the ball back a few yards. Sent into the top of the box by Ortiz, headed out by Sims. Ardron looking for Ruiz. Ruiz coming off the bench, has got fresh legs, is going to pressure the keeper.
Jeez. Sprinting.
Ruiz also has a trademark. Haven't seen it this year, but
wow,
he loves to do a backflip every time he scores a goal.
Sims with an outstanding header. Ortiz from the Bobcats has been really frustrated so far. Referees had to talk to him a few times. Bobcats maintain possession. And a little bit of pressure put on here by the Hawks. And here are the Hawks. And here's Trevor Myers once again. And he sends it towards the box. Cleared out by the Bobcats, but maintained by the Hawks. And sent in once again. And that's going to be well off the mark. And here's going to be the boot from the keeper. Sundstrom. He's had a lot of action here so far.
He has. We have an update from the home center with the women's volleyball. They trail 1-0. They lost the first set in Conference Carolina, played with Belmont Abbey 25-16. They're all tied at 10 in the second set.
And here come the Bobcats.
Jimenez back to Hahn. Hahn, nothing going there. Pressure by Ruiz. Ardron looking to pitch it through to Mitchell Levi Lewis. Matt Dunn steps to the ball to kick it away for the Bobcats. Robin Walsh kicks it out of bounds. It's going to be a throw-in for the Bobcats across the field. Looks like our women's team trails Belmont Abbey on the road 2-0. We're about at the 90-minute mark there.
Busy day for the Hawks athletic program. Very busy day. Home and away events.
Yes.
Just a recap of men's soccer, women's soccer, volleyball, football, and men's basketball tonight here at the home center.
The women's bowling team is in action again.
Wow.
They opened the year up over in Charlotte at the CIAA event number 1.
And they're still in CIAA. Is that correct?
Yes, 2 teams in playing the CIAA in football and women's bowling.
Pretty nice setup how we can still keep those 2 teams. Well, Conference Carolinas doesn't have anybody with football except Barton, which I believe they're a first-year program. I don't even think they play until next year. Or do they play this year?
There's a few teams in Conference Carolinas that do have football. Limestone, King.
Okay.
Barton, obviously.
King had one.
Yep.
Been to King with the baseball team up there in the mountains. It's a pretty place to play, but not much out there. I'm sure that football team boosted enrollment there.
Hahn sends it across the field. Sent it into the box. It was McMorrow. This is the ball into the box. It's going to be out. And it'll be a goal kick for Chowan and Ross Miller, junior goalkeeper from Kilmarnock, Scotland. It's going to tee it up so he can get out of the box. It's going to be a challenge here. Miller's had an outstanding season playing in goal this year. It's going to be just over midfield. Hall tries to get up. Bobcats come away with it. Ruiz, touch back to Hall. Hall back to Ruiz, middle of the field. Ruiz looking for Nathan Clifford. Jimenez steps in front of the ball, taking it to the corner.
Trying to keep things under control over there is Coach Chris Waller, who once again in his 6th season here for the Hawks used to coach at McRae up there in the mountains of North Carolina. And Christian Fuentes is in the match for the Hawks. He's at midfield now. And
after a foul, Bobcats are going to set it up. They're just about 20, 25 yards out from the box. McRae is going to set it up. They've got 5 Bobcats in the box looking to crash. McRae sends the ball in. Booted around. Finally sent out of the box by Jake Jensen. Bobcats still coming away with the ball. McRae in the corner. Pitches it in. Russ Miller. It's a nice service by the Bobcats. Looks like they were looking for, I believe that was Johan Hedberg, but I can't tell. It's hard to see the jersey numbers, but I believe it was Hedberg who was crashing the box. Miller steps to the ball, gets the save.
And here come the Bobcats. Thrown in by Jimenez. And this ball almost finds up. Also up here on top of the press box.
Headed away by Toby Sims. Hahn going to throw it in right in front of the press box at midfield. Looking for Matt Dunn. Matt Dunn takes the ball across the field. Jensen. And Suckenstad in a battle in the corner down there. I'm not sure who they're giving this ball to after the foul. I believe they called it on Chowan.
Looks like the Bobcats are going to maintain possession.
I'm going to stop the clock.
Now they're going to give it to the Hawks. And here comes a sub for the Hawks. It's going to be number 9, Danny Galagos. And still a little bit confusion down on the pitch. Looks like the women's soccer teams. No, that's not the women's soccer team. I don't know who that is down there.
That would be the women's lacrosse team.
Women's lacrosse team.
Women's lacrosse is team supporting teams. They are always out and about supporting the athletic teams here at Chowan. I'm sure we'll see them in the gym at the men's basketball game as well.
They have a busy day as well then.
Looks like the women fell to Belmont Abbey 2-0 on the road, and that would end their season. Coach Wally is egging his players on, wanting them to defend. They did get a little bit disorganized there, but I can't say I blame them because I was a little bit confused about who was getting the ball back either. Corner kick set up for the Bobcats. This is their first corner of the game. Sent into the box. Miller and Trevin Myers pitch the ball
on the ground.
Davis heads it back out to Ortiz. Ortiz sends it to the middle of the box, but there's a host of Hawks there to break that up.
Love how you can hear everything that's being said here on the pitch. A little bit different than basketball and football. You can't really hear much. It's really cool to be able to hear what the players are communicating about, what the coaches are saying. It's really nice to kind of get this perspective.
It's definitely a more intimate setting.
And a little bowl down here at Hawks Field.
Dunn with the head away. Ortiz. Harry Lovett. Referee continues to play after a lot of contact there at midfield. Ruiz back to Nathan Clifford. Clifford looking for somebody to be open. Finds Toby Sims. Sims back to Clifford. Clifford going to pitch it forward. Looking for Fuentes on the breakaway. Sundstrom kicks the ball forward after Fuentes tries to run the ball down. Can't get there on the breakaway. Bobcats going the other way. Jimenez looking to send it into the box. Ruiz kicks it out of bounds at the back line, so it's going to be a corner kick. Jimenez runs away. Looks like McMorrow is going to get the going to get the kick here in the corner.
He finds Ortiz.
McMorrow into the box, head away by Trevin Myers. Lee steps to the ball. Out of bounds by Connor Hahn. Got a clock stoppage for delay of game on the throw-in. Does happen from time to time. Gallegos kicks it back to midfield. Harry Levitt steps to the ball, but it looks like Ortiz is going to come away with it. Takes ball midfield, crosses it. Still has possession. Gallegos breaks it up. Toby Sims with a great job putting himself between the ball and the goal.
Toby Sims has to be one of the quickest athletes that we have. He's just been all over the field. He's a defender, but he's just been all over the pitch today.
After the foul called on the Hawks, going to set up a free kick. Ortiz. Olivide over there with him, is breaking towards the corner. Ortiz with the shot. Ross Miller wrapping that one up.
And here's Sims. Sends it upfield. And they're going to give it away to the Bobcats. And here comes some subs for the Bobcats. It's going to be Cameron Morton and Matt Law. Matt Law from Newcastle, England. Morton from Pinehurst, North Carolina. There's
Fuentes sends it over to Gallegos. Got Matt Dunn comes away with the ball for the Bobcats. Jake Jensen sends the ball forward. Gallegos middle of the field, pitches it back to Sam Hall. Sam Hall left foots it over to Ruiz, a little over.
Hawks becoming a bit sloppy with the ball recently. About 2:24.
2:24 left to play here in the first period. The Hawks lead 3-0. Last goal scored about 20 minutes ago. Ball's thrown out the inline by the Bobcats, so it's going to be a goal kick for Ross Miller, who's going to set it up.
Coach Wally ordering his team to make it to halftime, clean up some of those errors that the Hawks have had recently. Started off the game strong. Still leading here, 3-0.
Well, it looks like Coach Waller's giving his couple of his guys rest. If we can hold on to this lead, then we have a good chance to host the semifinals here on our campus, which will be very exciting for the Hawks to have that home field advantage and rest some of you guys up for some really tough competition at the end of the week. So semifinal action will take place Friday and Sunday, with a championship match on Sunday.
Well, the Bobcats at the end had a lot of trouble throwing in, and the struggles continue. This is the Hawks. We're going to get the ball.
Then there's clock stoppage, take care of the delay game. So Also matching up today, number 2 and number 7, Belmont Abbey is number 2. They're hosting Mount Olive. The 3rd seed is Erskine. They're hosting Emmanuel. The 4th seed is Barton, and they're hosting Limestone. So at the end of the day, we're going to know where everybody stands, and hopefully beginning next week, we'll know whether or not we will be hosting the semifinals right here on our campus, which would be great to have visitors from all over our region and our conference coming to campus.
2, 1.
All right, we're at the half. Hawks lead 3-0.
McRae, no.
And we're going to take a break, 15 minutes, and come back on. Just before we bring you some halftime stats. Remember, fans, you can log on to the athletics website at GoSeeHawks.com and pull up the live stats to catch all the action live if you can't be here. What you think, Rob?
Really interested in announcing my first soccer game here. And I can see why the Hawks are the first in the conference, and we've made a few mistakes, it seems like. Coach Barley a little bit frustrated with his guys, especially towards the end there. And I'm sure that'll be taken care of in the locker room.
I'm sure it will be. Coach Barley has a way of getting his guys to definitely get them to do what they need to do.
Very athletic team that the Hawks have. As I mentioned, first in conference, and Lee's McRae is going to be the bottom seed here. Both teams looking to advance, of course, but
one thing I can tell you is they will not be letting up the second half.
Have to keep the pedal to the metal if you're the Hawks here. Don't want to lose a 3-0 lead. This is something I haven't seen, but I've watched a few soccer games here, and I like how the players that didn't get to play kind of warm up because they haven't had much opportunity to move their body around a little bit, while the ones who have played are brought into the locker room and kind of go over some strategy and stuff like that. You don't get to see that kind of stuff in football or basketball, of course.
No. It's kind of standard for soccer.
And actually learned a lot so far, kind of a soccer newbie, and learned a lot so far just from watching one match and just the first period of one match.
You're doing a good job. Well, fans, we'll be back here in about 13 minutes, and we'll be bringing you halftime stats. And before we do that, we got a couple announcements we need to get off the books. Make sure you keep up with all the great things happening in Conference Carolinas through social media. You can follow Conference Carolinas on Twitter and Instagram at Conference Carolinas. Make sure you also like Conference Carolinas on Facebook at facebook.com/Conference Carolinas. Keep up to date on all the things happening in Conference Carolinas by visiting conferencecarolinas.com every day.
Conference Carolinas is where tradition is unmatched and excellence is earned daily in the classroom, during practice, and in high-level competition. Our virtues set us apart. We work daily to build champions in body, mind, and soul. It's who we are. This is Conference Carolinas.
I found my place at Chowan University.
I found my place.
Affordable, practical,
Small class sizes,
Abundant resources, individual attention,
personalized education,
caring faculty.
A university just for you, with faith in your future.
with faith in your
With
future.
faith in your future.
Find your place at Chowan University.
Welcome back to Hawks Field. Robert Burns here, and Meredith Long will be joining us momentarily. And the Hawks are leading 3-0. I did get to intercept a speech from Coach Shane Calvert from the Bobcats, and it was a terrific speech. And it echoes a little bit down here on Hawks Field, so got to hear every word of it, and just a tremendous speech. And I know the Bobcats are going to come out fired up after that, and got me excited to announce, and it even makes me want to put the pants on and go through a little bit for the Hawks, and that'll be coming soon in the spring. Lincoln football just knotted it up with the Hawks, so football's 14-14 right now in Lincoln, Pennsylvania, while volleyball is trailing 2-0. And here are the Bobcats with the ball. And booted upfield. Oh, man. And there's a Bobcat that just took a ball off the face there. Nothing intentional, obviously. Danny. Well, it was Jake Jensen, actually, that booted it forward. And just an unlucky turn of events. Can't see the number on the jersey down there, but obviously he's down in some pain. As the Bobcats tend to the injured player. And Jake Jensen goes over and checks. See if the Bobcat is okay. And now we can see who the injured Bobcat is. It's going to be number 6, Oliver, the junior from the Canary Islands, Spain. And oh man, you can see him peeling his contact out. I have contacts. That's not a fun thing to do. Getting hit in the face. I've been hit in the face with a baseball and lost a contact. And if you don't get it out of there, it's going to get infected. So we'll see if Oliver will be able to enter back in the game in a little bit. Obviously going to go some medical evaluation. It's going to be counted as a head injury substitution. So it's not going to count as a sub for the Bobcats. I'm sure he's going to undergo concussion protocol. Better to be safe than sorry with issues like that. And here come the Bobcats. And Hawks attacker ends up on the turf. And Sims heads it. Ortiz once again with the ball, and he loses it. Booted out to midfield. And Hawks are going to get the ball. Again, you'll have to forgive me, folks that are listening. Meredith Long isn't up here right now to tell me all the soccer terminology, usually doing football, basketball. So thank you guys for understanding that. And she's down there taking care of some paperwork with, I believe, I don't think that's the commissioner of Conference Carolinas, but it's official from Conference Carolinas, so she should be back up here in a few. And meanwhile, here come the Hawks. And sent into the box. And they're going to be booted out by the Bobcats. Wow. Sam Hall maintained possession for just a second for the Hawks. Looks like the Bobcats have now recovered. Now it gets turned over once again to the Hawks. I believe the Hawks are now going to have a throw-in. And can't see the number over there across the field, but this one's sitting to the box. Goalkeeper ends up on the ground and sent backwards by the Bobcats, but now the Bobcats trying to maintain possession, but the Hawks come up with it. Chowan tripped up. And there go the Bobcats. Cross midfield on the near side. And let's see what the call is here. And here come the Bobcats, sent into the box. And not much happening for the Bobcats there. Leaves McRae with a long trip here. Mountainous region of North Carolina. Takes a little bit longer on the bus rides when you're going up and down the mountains. Up, down, and around for sure. Sent across the field on the far side. Toby Sims defending, and ball is booted out by the Hawks. And Hawks are going to push it a little bit. Levi Lewis looking for some help on his side. Sent to the box. Oh, just off target. It was a great shot, but blocked by a Bobcats defender down there. Goaltender didn't even get a chance to have his hands on it. I believe that was Matt Law that took it off the body from Lees McRae. Probably saved a goal there. It's a magnificent shot. But all for naught here. With about 30 minutes left in the second half. And here's the corner. Sent in. Oh, what a magnificent save. Sundstrom was able to jump up and smash that one from the top. That was a nice shot there by Trevor Myers. A little bit of confusion on the pitch. Looks like we're ready to get started now. we can catch a little bit of audio down there. I don't know if everyone on the live stream heard it, but the official mentioned that after Chris Walder is done with his tenure of coaching, he's always welcome to be a part of the officiating team. And here's Myers, and he puts another one into the box. But the Bobcats are going to retain possession. And good sight here as Eduardo Olivide comes back in for the Bobcats. That was a young man that had the head injury a bit earlier. He took a ball off the face earlier. That was just absolutely booted off the leg of Jake Jensen. Unintentional, of course. Nonetheless, he's back in the ball game. One of Lees McRae's impact players. And here come the Bobcats cross midfield. And sent to the far side to the Bobcats' leading goal scorer. And sent towards the center of the field. Now coming near side. And great defense by Robin Walsh there. Lees McRae now going to have a corner. As we've already mentioned, women's bowling in action today. Women's soccer lost a tough match earlier. Men's soccer, of course, here in action, leading 3-0 Volleyball, last we checked, was trailing Beaumont Abbey 2-0. Football knotted up in Lincoln, Pennsylvania, 14-14 with the Trojans. And men's basketball at 6 p.m. tonight. Gaddis Hodges and I will be on the call tonight. Evan Carpenter, our sports information director, always with some help. And here come the Hawks, attacking. And here's Levi Lewis. Oh, and they're going to have an easy goal. Goal for the Hawks. I believe that was Adon, number 10 for the Hawks. Sank it into the back of the net, and they're going to go up 4-0 with 38 remaining in the second period. Absolutely outstanding possession by the Chowan Hawks. That was number 10, Harrison Ardon, the sophomore from Blackpool, England. Listed at 5'10". Important goal there. Magnificent. And the Hawks take the possession once again. And they have a breakaway again, but it looks like Bobcats are going to catch up. Here's Trevor Myers in the box. Sent back. And here's Hall. Crosses the field. Hawks have possession on the far side now. And good defense there by the Bobcats. Although now the Hawks are going to have a corner kick. Had a few good attempts on corners today. I believe they scored one goal off the corner. And here it is, booted to the near side. Toby Sims. Oh, just kicked out by a Bobcat. Headed back in. Hall has a shot. Oh, and another shot on goal there. That was by Jory de Boogart. He's from the Netherlands. Not a terrible kick there. Just off the mark, a bit high. Here's the boot by the goalkeeper. Sundstrom has just been busy today for the Bobcats. Here come the Bobcats near side. And booted off the ref there. Cameron Morton hit the referee on his boot. Here come the Hawks near side. Booted up to midfield. Bobcats take possession. A little bit of a battle here in midfield. Morton and Bogart. And now booted away by the Bobcats goalkeeper, Sandstrom. And once again, the Bobcats coming near side. Oh, finally in the box for the Bobcats, but nice stop there by Ross Miller. Just slides on the ball there. Now Sam Hall boots it off. A little bit past the midfield mark. And there's a possession battle on the Bobcats side. And they come up with it. And once again, pretty good defense by the Hawks there. That was number 20, Sam Hall, the junior. As we mentioned, 6'3". Tall soccer player. Bobcats on your side. Now they've crossed the far side. Chowan Hawks defense still looks to be holding strong. Bogart took some contact, kept running through the play. Now he's down on the side. Near side, number 14, Jordan Bogart, down for the Hawks, holding his left leg. Helped up by his teammate, Robin Walsh. Looks like Luis Jimenez is going to get the yellow card for the contact that is going to cause Jordan Bogart to leave the match, hopefully temporarily. It's going to be number 24, Samuel Zuniga.
And just a reminder, the spectator area is located on top of the hill. Once again, the spectator
from Woodstock, Georgia.
on top of the hill.
As we hear our SID, Evan Carpenter making some announcements. Bobcats kick it back to the keeper, boot it out, and it's a short one. The header by Mitchell Levi Lewis. And this one is high above Hawks field here. Comes back down to earth. Hawks have possession. And finally headed out by Cameron Norton of the Bobcats. 32-55 remaining in the second. Hawks still up 40-0. And absolutely booted by Matt Dunn of the Bobcats. But here come the Hawks. It's going to be a throw-in for Chowan. Looks like Sims tosses it in. And there's a whistle on the pitch. And here's Sims throwing it in again. And back to Sims. Sims boots it forward. Headed by a Bobcat. And here come the Hawks on attack. Oh, and a lot of contact there. Sent to the box, but sent directly out by a Bobcat. Bobcats have not spent much time with the ball, and on the contrary, the Hawks spend most of the game with possession. And Hawks have a bit of a breakaway here. It's Eric Ruiz. Ruiz is brought down by number 15, Matt Dunn. Matt Dunn at 6'3". Looks like we're going to have a free kick here for the Hawks. No yellow card brought out on that. There's a little bit of discussion down on the pitch there. Bobcats set up the wall. it is booted in by Harrison Ardon. Arjon. I believe I'll have to wait for Miss Meredith Long to come back up here to get that name correct. First time we're announcing Chowan's men's soccer. Of course, this is a quarterfinal for the Hawks and the Bobcats. And the loser goes home. So Luz McRae, of course, pushing now. Really, the clock is our enemy. Trying to overcome a 4-0 deficit with only 30 minutes left. Here's Hall. Kicks it off to Walsh. And here's Ruiz once again. A lot of action over here on the near side. And booted out by Matt Dunn of the Bobcats. Harry Levitt's going to throw it in. And a long one. Trevin Myers with the header. It was on goal, but just a bit short. And here they are with action across the field. We're going to have a throw-in from the far side. Meeknell from Greensboro, North Carolina. It's going to be the one to throw it in. Donovan Branch is going to come in for the Bobcats, as well as Matt Law. Bobcats trying to keep some fresh legs in the game. I did hear their coach earlier, as I stated, Shane Calvert, with a motivational speech a bit earlier, but one thing he mentioned is that they're going to keep some fresh legs in this match. Waiting for the call here. Looks like they're going to give the ball to the Bobcats. No, we're going to keep it with the Hawks. Chris Waller of the Hawks telling some of the substitutions to get going. Looks like it's going to be number 17. Tagna. Mason Tanga from Fort Myers, Florida. Also see number 1 over there, JJ Wojcicki. Man, these are some tough names compared to baseball, football, and basketball, but we're trying to work our way through it here. Looks like Luz McRae is going to run with a little bit of tempo here. And kick forward. Bit of a breakaway here by the Bobcats. It's number 17 with it. Harvey Guevara. A lot of contact in the corner over there. Looks like it's going to go out on a Hawk. And I believe it's going to be a corner kick for the Bobcats. And sent to the box, but stopped by a Hawk who boots it out to midfield. Luz McRae is going to take possession and kicks it right to a Hawk, who then sends it upfield. And the goalkeeper, Anton Sundstrom, is going to get another chance to get his mitts on the ball. And here come the Bobcats attacking, kicked out by the Hawks. Oh, and a misplay there. Dunn finally boots it back to the goalkeeper. Trevin Myers putting some pressure. Oh, another misplay, this time by Hall. Oh, there was a shot on goal there. Just missed to the left. Lee's McRae comes up empty once again. Had him beat there. Matt Law sent a shot on goal, but just a touch to the left. Hawks get another break. And this will be the boot by the goaltender. Ross Miller sends it a little bit less than midfield. Hedberg kicks it back to the goaltender. Sundstrom sends it a bit upfield and comes right back to him. And sent to the midfield. Looks like the Bobcats are going to lose it. Off the foot of Stokes. And the Hawks here in their checkered sleeves will take possession. And Trevor Myers heads it back, but a Bobcat takes the possession, boots it back to the Hawks. Trevor Myers now wearing the captain armband. And a little bit of a better crowd here. Now that the temperatures have warmed up a bit. Don't forget, here on GoCUHawks.com, we have a basketball game a little bit later on at 6 p.m. against West Virginia Tech. Hawks home opener. Women's soccer did lose a tough match 2-0 earlier today. That would be the end of their season, and for the seniors, they're having some great careers here at Chowan University. Booted forward by the Hawks. And Myers now is going to have a shot here. A little bit of footwork and sent into the goal, but stopped by a Bobcat. Sent back into the box. Finally booted out once again. Excellent defense there by the Bobcats. A lot of Hawks attackers down in the box, but they're going to have another shot here with Walsh. Walsh is closing in, and he's going to retain the possession. Looks like he's going to kick it to Ruiz. Ruiz finds the center of the field. And working here on the near side. Walsh, with a magnificent move. And he's got an open shot. He's going to pass it off to Ruiz. And Ruiz with a wasted opportunity there. Only had to beat one man, and that was the goaltender. And kicked it about 10 feet over the goal. Chris Wally, mentioned a few times the coaches' names. Still coaching his players. A 4-0 match with 22 minutes and about 25 seconds left to go. And I believe that's going to be a sportsmanship talk. 28. That's Cameron Morton. And that was Mitchell Levi Lewis that had to meet at midfield. Of course, Chris Wally again with some coaching. Don't do anything crazy. We need your magnificence in the game, is what he said. Well-spoken words by Mr. Wally. So with the win, the Hawks will move on. Of course, still 22 minutes left, so don't want to look ahead. Bobcats had an opportunity there for a header inside the goal box, but it's going to come up empty once again. Lee's McRae has had a few good looks here in the second. Still nothing on the Metal Tech of Murphyboro's scoreboard. Metal Tech, of course, a huge sponsor for our school. Does all the scoreboards. Oh, and here come the Hawks, but booted back out by the Bobcats. Sundstrom boots it over midfield, and there's a ton of contact there. That was number 2, Donovan Branch. Knocked down a Hawks attacker. Helps him up after. And here comes Ortiz. And he's had a frustrating day. He's usually one of their impact players, but has really just had a tough day here at the pitch. Oh, there's a sliding tackle by Sam Hall. The clock keeps running. I believe the Hawks are going to get this throw in. Trevor Myers comes over for a breather. Looks like Fuentes is going to be back in for the Hawks, and he's got some fresh legs. And here come the Hawks on the far side. Lots of contact once again. One thing I have noticed, as Meredith Long pointed out earlier, is there was a significant amount of contact in men's soccer that I did not realize. And there's another one there. The slide tackle. Fuentes a bit gimpy. Here come the Bobcats. Near side, Robin Walsh playing some great defense there. Lots of contact once again. That one's finally going to be called. And Fuentes looks like he's in some pain down there. He's taken out on a slide tackle a bit earlier. And Hawks have a sub warming up. Galagos ready to go in for the Hawks. Ruiz and Ortiz going at it, and Fuentes might have a shot at this one. Booted out by the Bobcats goalkeeper, and that's a phenomenal boot there. Traveled about 75% of the pitch there. And here come the Bobcats. Oh, Hall there takes it off the body and booted out by the Hawks. Good defense there. Ortiz with some footwork here. Fuentes looked like he's shaking his injury off a little bit. Starting to become more mobile. Another shot on goal by the Bobcats, but that one didn't have much of a chance as Ross Miller scoops that one off of the turf. And here's the boot by Miller. Hawks have possession. And Fuentes has the ball. Now off to Zuniga. Zuniga now passes it off. And passed off once again by Clifford. Bobcats end up with the ball. Come near side. Swings it around. Headed there by Jensen. And Hall's going to end up with the soccer ball. Here are the Bobcats. And as I say that, Hawks take over possession. Taken again by the Hawks. Ruiz with a nice move. That's number 15, Matt Dunn, for the Bobcats, playing some magnificent defense. And a sub's going to come in for the Hawks. That's going to be London Williams. Going to come in for the Hawks. As for the Bobcats, Tyler Bosarge from Jacksonville, North Carolina, went to Jacksonville High School. A bit familiar with Jacksonville High School, the Cardinals. An outstanding soccer program. Always competing for state championships. And here's Walsh, near side, right underneath our press box here at Hawks Field. And now the ball is found its way far side. And that was Clifford that just dished the ball off. Hawks maintain possession. Oh, there was a man open on the near side, but couldn't get the ball to him. Now the Bobcats attacking far side. Here's Ortiz. Off to McMorrow. And booted it right over the goal. Ross Miller. And to boot the ball. Coach Calvin has stayed true to his word, bringing on another substitution. Wow, this one will be a tough one. Mikkel Sinkingston from Norway. He's a junior. Listed at 5'7". And the boot is away. Contact there. Levi Lewis boots it off. A little bit of gamesmanship, I guess you would call it, by Levi Lewis and Ortiz. As we mentioned earlier, you can hear just about everything here at Hawks Field. And here's the keeper. Rolls it a bit forward. They're going to come to the near side. Hawks defense squeezing. Walsh is going to head it out. Hawks now moving up the field. No look pass by Levi Lewis. Hawks now on the attack. And it's going to be booted out by Chowan. Here's McRae. Keeper, Soundstrom. He's going to have an opportunity to show off the leg here. And just kicks it forward to Matt Dunn of the Bobcats, who finds a crossing, seeking stab, then bounced out to the far side. And stolen by a Hawks defender. With 11:30 left here at Hawks Field, Hawks still leading 4-0. It's going to be off the Hawks defender. Here's McRae. Throws it in. Oh, nice move there. Wow, that was too much contact to go uncalled, I believe. Of course, I'm a soccer newbie, but to me, that looked like me and Gaddis doing a football game. Oh, and there's going to be a shot here. Oh, wide open. Oh. They're going to call it a goal. Hawks now up 5-0. Hawks take a huge lead. A lot of controversy here on the sideline. Hawks celebrating. Lee's McRae not too happy about the call. Lee's McRae arguing that it hit the defender while he was outside of the goal. While the referee said that it hit the defender while he was in the goal. It then rolled into the goal. It didn't find the back of the net. Levi Lewis, making sure sports information director knows that he gets the assist on that one. And just all around a frustrating day for the Bobcats. While the Hawks look as though they're going to move on to the semi. And Calvert still talking to the officials. Okay, so a little bit of an explanation down here. It was a second touch that resulted in the goal for the Hawks. The first touch, they did rule that the Bobcat defender was not in goal. Nonetheless, the Hawks take the lead 5-0. Booted out by Jensen. Here come the Bobcats. That's a new face in for the Hawks, Alec Jackson. Also another new face in. We've seen him before, actually, but Danny Galagos comes back in the match for the Hawks. Looks like Coach Chris Wally getting some of his less experienced players in the game. Really impressed by Coach Chris Wally. I know we've mentioned his name quite a few times today, but still coaching up 5-0 here. Wants to give JJ Wojcicki, I believe is how you pronounce that last name, but want to give him a clean slate here. It also mentions that this is a good time the Hawks for them to get their fitness down. And Bobcats now attacking. They're in the box, and he just throws down a Hawks player and just nothing called. Pretty surprising there. Booted out by Hall. And here's the throw in for Lees McRae. Lees McRae puts one that would have been on goal. I believe that was Hall that stopped out with his body once again. Here come the Bobcats. Hawks end up with it. Streaking down the far side. They may have a shot here. And cross, and almost an own goal there by Matt Dunn. Tried to boot it out. Here's McRae coach, Calvin. Still keeping his team in the match mentally. And I believe that was Jensen who had the attempt there. Bit over the goal. Sundstrom. Hawks have possession again. And what looks like will be the last game for the Bobcats this season. All of their seniors: Logan Green, Andrew Stokes, Harvin Morrow, and Tyler Bessarge. Looks like number 28, Cameron Morton's going to be taken off the redshirt junior after he gets a yellow card. And what looks to be a lost cause here for the Bobcats. With 6:34 left. And here's Jake Jensen. Off the foot. Headed out by Branch of the Bobcats. Oh. It's going to be another yellow card here for the Bobcats. Leaves McRae struggling to maintain control right now. A lot of frustration here showing from the Bobcats. And what is becoming a chip game here. If you're the Hawks, you really can't afford any injuries. And basically a trash time here. Here's the free kick for the Hawks. Mitchell's off the mark. And here comes number 11, Nathan Clifford for the Hawks. And it's going to be number 11, Matt Law. And number 19, Silvestre coming in for the Bobcats. And here's a little bit of contact here. And there's a fight that's breaking out down here by the bench. Hawks and the Bobcats clear the benches. A lot of contact here. Olivide looks like the one that kind of insinuated things. Hawks really can't afford anything to go wrong right here. I mean, the game's already over. course, the Bobcats' season's going to be over. Some of their careers are going to be over. No point. And the Hawks losing their career here. Of course, you want to protect your teammates at all times. Lee's McRae, season's going to be over. Don't want to get entangled with them. They're going to get a yellow card. And here's some conversation between Coach Shane Calvert and Chris Wally, both very respectable coaches. Chris Wally used to coach at Lee's McRae, so you would expect here that Shane Calvert has a lot of respect. You got to keep your head here if you're the Hawks. And here's Wally. Excuse me, Sims. Giving his team some instruction. Wally did mention that he has no problem taking some guys off the field and playing with 9 if you can't control your emotions. Hawks are going to need everyone they can for this postseason push. Semi, I believe, comes up Saturday at a time to be determined. We may be hosting. I believe we are hosting, actually, now. After a pretty stellar performance by the Hawks against Lee's McRae. And Ortiz continues with his frustration. Being taken off from the golf cart. And his day is going to be over. He's going to be sent back into the locker room after receiving 2 yellow cards. And here are the Hawks once again. Oh, and that's where we can't afford. There's a Hawk that comes up hobbled. Looks like it's number 9, Danny Galagos. Hobbling up the field. Here are the Bobcats. Trying to throw. And here's the cross. Followed by another. Hawks are going to get the throw in. It's going to be Robin Walsh to throw it in for the Hawks here. And here's the toss. Suniga has the ball. And he stepped out. They're going to give it back to Lee's McRae. And Lee's McRae is going to turn it right back over to the Hawks. And here's a ball that's set up here by the press box. Here's Stokes with the throw in. Some contact. Jensen comes up with it. And then finally booted out by number 15, Matt Dunn of the Bobcats. Matt Dunn has been all over the field for the Bobcats and just pretty much an abysmal day for Lee's McRae. He's been somewhat of a highlight. He continues to compete. He's a senior, so. Here come the Hawks. Here's Ruiz on the far side. More contact. They're just going to play through it at this point, looks like. And here's Chowan once again with the throw-in. I believe the Hawks are going to attack here. And there was a shot taken off the body by Dunn. Here's Mitchell Levi Lewis, who crosses field. Possession taken by Lee's McRae. Three minutes remaining here in the match. And a little bit of a miscommunication there by the Bobcats. As Tyler Bosarge knocked it off of Silvestre. Looks like Danny Galagos was a little bit hobbled earlier. He's moving pretty low down there on the pitch. And there's another shot on goal by Ruiz. Pretty outstanding stop there by Anton Sundstrom of Lee's McRae. Nonetheless, the Hawks will get the corner kick, as they're leading 5-0 over the Bobcats here at Hawks Field. Well, there's 1:58 left here on the Middleton of Murphyboro scoreboard. And here is the corner, sent into the box. Oh, and there's another nice stop by Sundstrom. Very nice stop, but once again into the box for the Hawks. It's going to be Galagos. Crosses it across. Excuse me, crossed it, but went out. So Sundstrom going to boot it upfield. And here is the boot. And goes directly to number 25 of the Hawks, London Williams. And you would expect Chowan here to kind of kick it around, just waste some time in the game.
1 minute remaining in regulation. 1 minute.
And here's the 1 minute call for regulation. If you're the Hawks and Coach Chris Waller, you got to be impressed with the Hawks' performance today. Lee's McRae did come in near the bottom of the pack, just making it in 3-6-1 in conference, 3-10-2 overall. They're going to move to 3-7 in conference, 3-7-1, 3-11-2 overall, while Chowan's going to move to 9-1-1 in conference and 11-4-1 overall. As the Hawks will now move on to the semifinals after the quarterfinal
10,
win today.
8, 7, 6, 5.
And the last 5 seconds ticking off here at Hawks Field.
1.
And Chowan with an outstanding victory here
Your final score
in Murfreesboro, North Carolina.
8-0. With the win, your Hawks will host the Conference Carolina
Outstanding performance here.
next weekend, starting.
Also avoided injuries, any serious injuries anyway that we can see. No injuries on the pitch from either side.
November 17th.
And here's the handshakes by both teams.
Mount Olive 2, Belmont Abbey 0. On the women's side, your Chowan women's soccer team fell to Belmont Abbey.
And we're going to be right back here. Robert Burns at GoCuHawks.com. We're going to see if we can get some stats from our SID, Evan Carpenter, down in the booth. We'll be right back. Give us about 2 minutes.